going to go over braking. Actually, Troy covered a lot of the beginning part that I was going to go over, but everybody knows whether they have V brakes or cantilever or disc brakes. Everybody kind of knows what they have as far as that goes. Really back to basics too. Your left hand controls your front brake, so you apply that. Your right hand controls the back brake, and everybody gets that part of it. That makes sense. You tested that earlier with the ABC Quick Check. If you apply your front brake too strongly, if you grab the front brake lever, you could get this happening while you're riding. So I always like to make sure that as a caution, everybody understands that if you grab that and grab it only, you're going to possibly go over your bike. You do not want to grab both of them with both hands too strongly because you'll end up losing control of the bike too. So I thought what we would do first is kind of test out how much you have to use each of those brakes so that you get an idea of, well, how much is enough and how much can I go as far as not getting into a skid or not getting into a situation where you're out of control on your bike. Braking is so important, and the ability to kind of brake as much as you need without over braking is really critical, particularly in keeping your momentum going. Becky talked a lot about keeping momentum going on your bike, and that's such an important part. If you brake so much that you then have to pedal fast to get going again, it loses some of the fun of the ride, as well as you're going to lose some of your momentum to climb a hill, let's say. It never fails, you hammer on your brakes and then you got to turn the corner, you got to climb up a hill, and you just wish you'd kept your momentum through that. So usually what we do for this part of the exercise is we kind of do the same sort of format where we ride forward, and then I want everybody to kind of test their front brake and then test their back brake, and then we're going to apply both brakes. We're just looking to find that point where it feels like you have excuse me, where you have full control of your bike. We've got folks with disc brakes, and we've got somebody with cantilevers too. You're going to use a different amount of pressure, obviously, and you're going to use possibly more hand on your brake on a bike with cantilever brakes. With your disc brakes, you don't want to use more than 2 fingers. Okay, and again, I think Troy covered that a bit with the braking demonstration. These levers were not even meant to have more than 2 fingers on them. But on a bike with cantilever brakes, you probably can fit your whole hand on the brakes, and you probably need to. But the V brakes, as well as the disc brakes, you're going to be fine with just 2 fingers on your brakes. Okay? And you can ride with 1 finger resting on the brake too, if you feel more comfortable as you're kind of just getting used to riding hills or maybe even in traffic. You can just rest your finger on a brake so that you're ready to go at any point in time too, or both fingers. A lot of people need to have 3 fingers on the bar just to feel control of the bar. Once you get more comfortable with that and your hands are a little looser on your bar, you can actually ride with 1 or 2 fingers just resting on the brake, so you can actuate the brakes as easily as you possibly can. So let's start off. We can get on our bikes, and we're just going to ride forward. We're going to test our front brakes and just apply the front brake only. Okay. Ride with you. One more time, we're going to use both brakes. Down a steeper hill. We're going to talk about going downhill in, I think, the second and the third session. But if you put your weight back, behind the seat a bit, you will actually slow your bike down too, without even applying the brakes. And that's a good technique. So you're not hammering on the brakes and then having to pedal and hammer on the brakes. So to just put your weight back a little bit, like that, it actually slows the bike down a bit too. So what it cuts that down here.
Cowboy dismount.
Rear brake and keep the weight back. Nice, good one.